Hello everyone and welcome to the next part of the Red Embrace Hollywood LP. Recording this right after the last part. Everything's still fresh in my mind. If I missed something from the last part, I'm sorry. I think the one thing that's good about doing these day to day or one and then edit and then do another is that I see the things that I've missed. But this time we're just going in. Whatever I missed in the last part, I'm not gonna know until later. If you want to go in this game blind, there's links to buy it in the description. If you want to support the devs, that's also in the description. If you haven't seen the previous parts, please watch that. There's a playlist on my channel. Go watch that if you just want to watch me play Randall's route. So let's go. The faded wooden sign in front of me looked like a relic from Hollywood's golden age. Saturnalia, it read in swirly letters. It seemed this was the place. I get to see Heath again! I left the hotel not long ago, where the desk clerk carefully gave me directions to Heath's bar. Apparently it was a popular neutral ground for LA's vampires, even the ones who didn't live close to Hollywood. I wasn't really sure what to expect from the place, or if I'd be welcomed as a new vampire, but since Heath ran it, I'd hopefully be safe. The bar I stepped into was dim, slightly cramped, and flecked with low conversations. Something about it felt faded, like the sign outside. Maybe it was the peeling movie posters on the walls, or the lonely patrons sitting in the corners, or the glittering lights that filtered through the windows. Somehow it brought me back to a time I couldn't even remember. Antonio! Where's Randall? A loud, husky, unmistakable voice called out to me from the corner of the bar. Sure enough, there was Randall, sitting at a table and raising a glass to greet me. Randall! I'm coming. Randall! Get over here already. Following his barked command, I approached Randall's table, peering curiously into his glass. The liquid looked like blood, but I caught the scent of alcohol, too. Oh yeah, it's from a drunk human, the only way most of us can keep it down. Randall offered an explanation after noticing my gaze, chuckling softly. Free-range human, I hope? What? Are they raising humans as cattle or something? Or, yes, I am a little thirsty, thanks for asking. Free-range human, I hope. You'd be surprised the mortals who do know about us are usually pretty eager to please. I'm more worried about that. No cages required, except the ones who are, into that kind of thing. With a faint snort, he reached forward to pull out my chair, motioning me to sit. I settled down onto the old, brittle stool, which let out a faint squeak of protest. Anyway, spiked or regular blood. Not everyone likes to get buzzed, so I won't judge you if you take it easy. I want to take it regular. Got it. Coming right up. He hopped off his seat and strode towards the bar, his huge boots thudding across the tile. As I waited for Randall to come back, I glanced over to his side of the table, where a few napkins were scattered around. He had been drawing on the napkins. Pretty skilled drawings, too. But all of his sketches were dark, even disturbing, blending with grotesque and the beautiful. I leaned in closer to make out the various figures, all of them drawn with thick, intense lines. There was a corpse-like creature with giant insectoid wings. An androgynous human in the nude, with hair streaming down their bony shoulders. And a gory, crucified figure staring emptily into space, his jaw messily ripped off. Ugh. Maybe it was my Iskari blood speaking, but I found these pictures horribly mesmerizing. What did they reflect inside him, I wondered. Hey, get back on your own side of the table, kid. Oops, sorry. Randall approached with 2 glasses in hand, raising a playfully accusing brow at me. Had to do something to pass the time while I waited for you. You fashionably late fuckers are why I always carry a pen around. Oh god, I'm so sorry, Randall. He set down one glass in front of me, downing a gulp from his own, and slid back into his seat. You're incredibly talented, Randall. I love them. Or some of your sketches are a little messed up. You're incredibly talented. Like, from our previous thing, we found it, like, mesmerizing, even if it was, like, a little disturbing. Especially when we said, like, oh, he's talented, so. You're incredibly talented, Randall. I love him. Really? Yeah, I guess in his car he gets pretty shocked when the rest of us turn out not to be, what's the word? Philistines? Jesus, now I'm sounding like one of them. Randall took the napkins and crumpled them into a ball, stuffing them into his back pocket. I could tell he didn't really want to discuss them any further. Maybe it was embarrassing for him, considering his image and reputation. Now, how about a toast? To the legendary partnership of a starry-eyed newbie and his handsome mentor. Cheers, raise my glass and take a sip. Or, not the first time I've been called starry-eyed. Let's do the first one. Cheers, raise my glass and take a sip. After I toasted Randall, I curiously tasted the dark liquid inside my glass. It was a lot better than a blood pack, though not as delicious as a live human. Of course, it didn't come with any of the predatory sensations that normal feeding did, either. Always packs a punch. Good stuff. I always feel like I read Randall's lines a little weird. It takes me a while to be like, get into his speech pattern. With a satisfied grunt, Randall set his glass back down on the table. Oh yeah, before I forget. Antonio. Last time we talked, you said you'd trade some dirt on Queen... Last time we talked, you said you'd trade some dirt on Queen Bitch in exchange for sagely wisdom, didn't you? I guess so. I guess it's too soon for you to know anything, though. She probably has you just running around to pick up her dry cleaning right now. I mean, if you call a dead body dry cleaning, then yes. Or, pretty much, nothing interesting really happened. Let's be forward, let's be honest. I mean, if you call a dead body dry cleaning, then yes. A dead body, huh? Well, not that strange a thing to find in the city. Unless there was something else weird about it. My mind flashes back to the twisted scene I'd found in the sewers. That disfigured corpse and the strange accompanying note. Calling it weird was something of an understatement. It was one of Sharice's agents, and she looked like the victim of a serial killer. Or, not really, but it sort of shocked me, that's all. It was one of Sharice's agents, and she looked like the victim of a serial killer. A serial killer? Going after vampires? Never heard of something like that before. Wonder who could be behind it. He scratched absent-mindedly at his beard, frowning a little. Well, thanks for telling me anyway. I doubt she'll make you do any stuff related to the war anytime soon, especially not while she knows you and I are together. I mean, spending time together. Mentorship and shit. Randall! Don't do this to me! You're giving me hope! Yeah, you're probably right, or that wasn't a Freudian slip, was it? I'm tempted to tease him. Nah, I always say exactly what I mean to say. So that means we're a little more than just mentor and student. I'm not good at mind games like Marcus, though. So don't read too much into things. Randall glances down into his glass, rattling the ice cubes around in a circle. A small, thoughtful crease appears on his forehead, as if he considered something carefully. Alright, let's talk about you, kid. With a patient sigh, he returned his gaze up to mine, tilting his head a little to the side. I know it might seem like a nice gig, getting a fancy hotel room in exchange for doing Queen Bitch's errands, but the truth is, you're not gonna learn jack shit about yourself like that. Rude. Because I'm basically like running around doing her errands. I keep shifting, so if you hear me like be away from the mic, it's because I'm like moving around in my seat. I got a new chair, or I borrowed a chair from someone. But yeah, he's right. Just me like running around errands and going back to the hotel and just doing that isn't really lonely, especially when you consider like Antonio was probably like a more social creature when he was alive. I was mulling things over after you left the other night, and well, I think you should spend some more time with me and the clan, you know? I don't really do mentoring in the traditional sense, but if you hang around us long enough, I know you'll learn a lot of things. But I thought you said I couldn't join the Bavar. Or are your clanmates alright with that? Oh, I don't know which one to choose. I think this is more concerning for Antonio, because he doesn't want to be like in between people's decision or be like the problem in a relationship. So are your clanmates alright with that? They are, sure. I explained to them that you were a cool guy, and I think you're coming around to it. And I think they're coming around to it. They're not the bad types or anything. They just take a while to warm up to folks in situations like yours. For a few seconds, his eyes darted down to his glass, lingering there briefly before returning upward. I'm not saying you'll want to be part of our family clan, or whatever the hell you want to call it. I know it's not for everyone. But you can pick up a lot of wisdom from being around people who are different from you. Listening to what they have to say, even if they don't always like it or agree with it. This is exactly what Marcus said. So, it's a universal thing. I should surround myself with people that are the opposite of me, just to get a better perspective. And hey, when we're not getting into trouble, we have some pretty killer parties. Let me tell you, a killer party when you're already freaking dead? Goddamn legendary. And you don't even have to worry about alcohol poisoning. Count me in. Or, I'm not so much into parties, but I'd like to spend more time with you guys. Or, I don't know, groups usually aren't my thing. I'm not so much into parties, but I'd like to spend some more time with you guys. Let's do this one, because it's actually really something that I'd say. There you go, not everyone sticks around for the parties either. We have some folks who come and go, but they stick with us when shit goes down. I hope you end up being one of them. Randall beamed at me, his eyes shining affectionately. Please stop! I'm having feelings. But after a few moments, the smile on his face grew more wistful. Oh. He traced a finger along the roofs of our table, throwing a brief glance at the window before meeting my gaze again. Tell me your woes. I don't know what the type of that would be, so I had to go forward. Don't you think this is all funny as hell, Antonio? Kind of pathetic too? What do you mean? Or that's usually how life is, yes. Oh, these are so good! I don't know what to choose! What do you mean? I'm talking about us, okay? Sitting here, talking over drinks, trying to hold on to our humanity by copying what we did in life. But a vampire drinking out of a glass is like a lion eating a hamburger. You don't think we should still pretend we're human? Or, I'm not sure I follow, or I see what you mean. It's pretty silly, to be honest. I like the last one for this one. Because it does sound like pretty silly when he puts it like that. I see what you mean. It is pretty silly, to be honest. Right? Just doesn't make any sense. You know, a beast pretending it's civil, a wild creature should be hunting its own food, accepting what it is, not acting all human. The thing is, like, we look human, and we grew up human, so it's sort of hard to let that go, and if we let go of our humanity, we just become real-ass monsters. So, I'm not saying we should gore people in the streets, but it's pointless to act like something we're not, following rules that keep us from being what we are. You know what I mean? He glances sharply at me, not bothering to hide the curiosity in his eyes. Oof. I'm either gonna lose or gain points with this boy. Right now. I think we're too human to act like beasts. We still need law and order, or I'm not sure yet. I see wisdom in both points of view, honestly. Yeah, I'm not sure yet. That's like, I get what he means, but at the same time, the law and order thing is also what's destroying the vampire society that we have in this game, so... I'm not sure yet. I see wisdom in both points of view, honestly. Huh. Interesting. Is my undecisiveness making you angry? It's hard for me to be decisive without all my information, Randall. Please, don't be angry at me. Nothing wrong with that, I guess. For now, anyway. I get you, though. I understand why you want me to make a choice, because I can't be complicit the whole time. But sooner or later, you're gonna have to make up your mind once you manage to get away from Charisse. I think I can actually make up my mind once, like, Charisse lets me go. If she lets me go, I can actually decide for myself without any consequences. He paused then, lifting up his glass to drain the rest of its contents. When it was empty, Randall clinked it down on the table and leaned forward, lowering his voice a little. Hey, listen, kid. Just between you and me, I gotta say I appreciate how honest you are. It's a breath of fresh air in between all these fucking politics. Chuckling faintly, he glanced down to his empty glass, then back at my face. Hell, I couldn't care less that- I got ahead. And I- Hell, I couldn't care less what house you came from. Because you know, you're... Well, you're... Oh my god, Randall! Antonio! Heath! I swear to god if it's Heath! Heath, we were having a moment! Who are you? You came by, you should have said something sooner. Oh great. As soon as a delighted voice rang out into the bar, Randall rolled his eyes so hard that I only saw their whites for a second. It's Heath! Heath, we were having a moment! The source of his annoyance strolled up soon after, smiling warmly down at me. I'm sorry, I didn't see you come in, otherwise I would have made sure you got special treatment. Oh, Randall! You brought a friend! As if he'd only just noticed Randall, Heath tilted his head towards the other men curiously. There's something I didn't expect. Randall and the charming new arrival to show up together. Randall, please, it's okay! Randall! You two know each other, huh? Yeah, I came here to talk to him, not you. Oh god. You know, you two know each other, huh? Ha 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 ha. A little. We talk now and then. Back before the war caused this awful divide. Yeah, sure. We were just fast fucking friends. Oh, Heath. My baby. Randall's dismissive response made Heath glance at him, a wistful sigh leaking from his lips. Well, I didn't mean to interrupt. I'll let you two go back to your talk. But Antonio, anytime you'd like to come by, I'm always here to listen. Oh, God. Thanks, Heath. I'll see you around, or maybe I should take you up on that offer sometime. Winku. Thanks, Heath. I'll see you around. He brightens up a little at my friendly reply, his eyes shining at me. I want to be friends with you! Stay safe, Antonio. I hope I'll see you again soon. What is that face? What do you make that face for? Are you sad? We're so dense! I read without reading out loud. Okay. After glancing briefly between Randall and me, Heath turned and disappeared around a corner, probably heading to check on another customer. Randall stared after him, narrowing his eyes. I can feel the love in the air. Or, you didn't need to be so rude to him. Oh god. Oh god. I can feel the love in the air. Yeah, weddings in December. I'll let you figure out who's gonna be wearing the dress. He snorted, a crude smile curling on his lips. Now, what was I saying before he stuck his powdered nose in? Ah, shit, whatever. No! Heath! You interrupted! God damn it! Let's swap stories when I get drunk and you laugh at me from your sober high horse. Because I decided to go with a regular drink. I'm expecting some crazy stories out of you, so don't disappoint me. Or don't get too drunk, Randall. I'm pretty sure I can't carry you home. Or just be warned, my stories get pretty boring. Don't get too drunk, Randall. I'm pretty sure I can't carry you home. Not with that attitude. Wouldn't mind seeing you try, though. As the night wore on, I found myself nearly forgetting what I'd come and where I was. Laughing at Randall's ridiculous adventures over a drink, relaxing in the bar, enjoying the quiet atmosphere. It almost felt like I was still alive, having a normal night out. I couldn't forget his comment about vampires pointlessly acting like humans, but I had to wonder if he really felt that way. Sure, he'd occasionally sneer at our charade and the twisted humor of it all. When I heard his deep laugh and saw his relaxed grin, though, it made me think, maybe a part of him wanted to be human. Oh god, I'm having feelings. Finally, when the sunrise started to loom closer, we emptied our glasses and headed back onto the street. There were still a few late-night wanderers roaming around, but it was much quieter than before. I gotta tell Randall about those humans, though. Can I do that before we leave? Oh. There was a brief, slightly awkward pause as we stood on the sidewalk, our comfortable, faux, normal atmosphere fading into the night. And thanks for the drinks and the stories. It was really fun. Or, you're an interesting guy, Randall. I'd like to learn more about you. Or, so about that compliment you were going to give me earlier. You're an interesting guy, Randall. I'd like to learn more about you. Well, right back at you. It's nice talking to someone who listens and thinks things over. Which seems to be pretty rare nowadays. He trailed off, gazing at me with a slight tilt of his head, as if considering something. Kiss me! If that's what you're considering, do it! Oh, you're gonna invite me over instead? I mean, to hang out? I didn't mean to make it sound like that. Oh god. You're staying at Hollywood Heights, right? How about I walk you there? Make sure you get in safe. Aww. Sure, I'd enjoy the company. Or, so gentle. Who are you and what have you done with Randall? Or, won't you be attacked if you get close? It's an Iskari base, isn't it? Concerned. Concerned! Yeah, I thought about that. Oh, is he still walking me? Clasping his... Why did the music change? Clasping his hands behind his head, Randall started walking towards the hotel, slowing his pace until I caught up to his side. I can't go into the actual place with you since Queen Bitch would, not be happy to see me around. Unless I was offering to work for her, that is. Ally is what she says, slave is what she means. His lips pulled back into a distasteful grimace. I don't think she's that bad. Even charming in her own way. Why do you hate Cherie so much, exactly? Or... She'll get what's coming to her. Tyrants always do. Oh god, I can't. Cause she's so, like, manipulative, but she hasn't done anything bad to me yet, so... Why do you hate Cherie so much, exactly? Kid, I really don't want to spend the whole night ranting about her. Please do, though. Cherise, she gets her power from little doormats who are happy enough to be abused and told what to do, as long as they don't have to think. Oh. His voice steadily fell from its normal loud, confident pitch to a low monotone. I couldn't tell if he was hiding his anger, sinking into gloominess, or something else entirely. I guess I'll see for myself sooner or later, or if you say so, or... You're right, it's messed up. I guess I'll see for myself sooner or later. So ended our conversation and we continued our walk in silence. The sounds of distant sirens, muffled traffic, and even our own footsteps became deafening. I wasn't used to Randall being so quiet. He seemed to be brooding over our conversation, but his irritation didn't make him move away. In fact, he stayed close to my side, a protected half-step or so behind me. By the time we arrived at the hotel, however, his dark mood had started to subside. Would have been happy if I never had to see this place again. With his eyes roaming up to the bombastic— wow, that's a word! That's a word! Hollywood Heights sign, Randall let out a grunt of distaste. Whatever. Hey, more importantly, thanks for coming out with me tonight, Antonio. Why don't you come over to the beach again this week? Hang out with me in the group? I'll give you my number, though if you call from the hotel, watch what you say. Phone's probably tapped. What does that mean? I'd love to. Is it BYOB? Do I know what that means? Keep inviting me and I might just become a permanent guest, or we'll see. My vampire schedule is becoming pretty busy. Keep inviting me and I might just become a permanent guest. And is that supposed to be a bad thing? Randall let out one of his deep, husky laughs, the usual playfulness returning to his voice. Then, pulling out a pen from his pocket, he tore the corner of a napkin he'd stuffed in there earlier and scribbled out a phone number. There. Give me a call whenever you need me. And hell, even if you don't. Oh, thanks, I'm sure I will, sooner or later. So, all the time. Got it. Or, if you don't pick up the first ring, I'm filing for divorce. So, all the time. Got it. I like these two. Oh god, I don't know. So all the time. Got it. Pick this one. Oh boy, guess I'll be parked by the phone for a while. Alright, go on, get inside, kid. I'll be seeing you around soon. Night, Randall. Wave at him, blow a kiss. Night, Randall. He waved back at me, wearing a fond smirk. I headed for the hotel entrance, was about to step into the revolving doors when I threw a last glance over my shoulder. Randall had turned away, but someone was approaching him. A man in a sleek suit, Sharice's agent. Randall stood stock still, staring at the other man, stiffening like an animal about to fight for its territory. Hide and listen, or go inside. Hide and listen. Curiosity slapped me across the face, and I had to respond to it. Slipping behind the wall, I peered around the corner at the two men, straining my ears. The hell? Once? Oh man, it's gonna be a broken conversation. Merely remind you. Even with my sharpened sense of hearing, I couldn't make out every word. Tell Miss Locke, some other limp dick. No need and behavior. You are aware. The control she. An ally Antonio himself appreciated. So, talking about the Alliance and about me, maybe about like, taking care of me and like they appreciate it? I don't know. There was an extended pause, and for a time I couldn't hear anything at all. Ugh. With a loud grunt of disgust, Randall turned on his heel, kicking the asphalt as he stalked away. The Iskari vampire watched him for a short time, but before long, left to enter the hotel. I missed most of the conversation, but I'd heard my name mentioned. Was Sharice trying to use me as some kind of leverage? Whatever the case was, it gave me an uneasy feeling. I swear to God, Sharice! I waited a few minutes just to be safe, then slipped inside the hotel. Luckily, the Iskari from before was nowhere to be seen. By the time I reached my room, I felt exhausted, like I'd run 4 marathons in an hour. Maybe the hint of sunlight creeping up on the horizon was already draining my energy. I settled down in the darkness to reflect on the less important thoughts drifting through my head. Randall, Sharice, and the conflict that was slowly brewing under the surface. There wasn't much I could do now, but having a mentor in the opposing faction probably meant trouble in the future. Still, I decided to take Randall up on his offer and visit him in the next few days. After our long talk tonight, I felt like I still wasn't sure what to make of him. He'd make a good friend. I definitely had a crush on him! I liked him, but I still didn't agree with his views. It's between the last two. I definitely have a crush on him. Or, I liked him, but I didn't agree with his views. But I don't like the last one either, because we sort of said it so ourselves, like, it seems like he doesn't believe in what he's saying either. I guess, like, we're gonna be the person that's gonna make him realize, like, yeah, his beliefs are right, or they have to be added on to. I definitely had a crush on him. I really liked Randall, and I was starting to realize that it wasn't just as a friend. Judging from his light flirting, it might have been mutual, but I wasn't sure. What if he acted like that with everyone? At last, I let my eyes drift closed. If I played my cards right, then maybe during my next meeting with Randall, I could catch another glimpse of whatever was lurking behind his flippant smile. After a difficult struggle, I managed to raise my heavy eyelids. The first thing I felt was hunger stirring in my gut, gnawing me awake. Eventually I rolled out of bed, fighting a sluggish feeling. Tonight I had to take care of that job for Sharice, but I needed to feed first. We need a drink from a human. I said we're gonna drink from a human. Well, hold on, I'm gonna save. Hold on, I'm gonna save. Drink from a human. I quickly pulled on my clothes, hurrying outside. Okay, we're gonna stop here. Thanks for joining me. Hope to see you in the next part. Bye-bye. Oh, now we're... I wonder if that choice actually made us more vampiric then. Arm of our rep is good. I'm super excited to see what the next part will give us.